Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at some canceled Ninjago sets that never saw the light of day. These sets all had concept models and early stages of production complete, but never made it towards those final couple of steps, and as a result, they never made it to store shelves. These sets remain canceled and unfinished, but we do have some early concepts that we're going to be taking a look at as well regarding these sets, some early models that were actually built, and they do give us a clear look as to what these sets could have looked like if they ever made it to the final stages of production. Just keep in mind, we are only going to be looking at Ninjago sets that actually have early concept models built, not sets that were just ideas thrown onto a piece of paper. These sets actually had models built, they were all good to go, but for one reason or another, they were canceled last minute, and like I said, they never made it to the final stages of production. Which is kind of a shame because a lot of these sets do look pretty cool, and without further ado, why don't we jump on into it and take a look at some canceled Ninjago sets that in my opinion probably should have made it to the final stages of production. So the first canceled set that we're going to be taking a look at for today's video is a set based on Lloyd's Treehouse, which you may remember from Ninjago Season 1. I do have some images right here from the Ninjago wiki to show you, and overall, a set based on Lloyd's Treehouse would have been awesome to see. Lloyd's Treehouse in the context of the story was a pretty important part of the first couple of episodes, because Lloyd essentially built this whole fortress in the middle of the forest when he was still evil, heavy quotations around the word evil, and essentially the Serpentine built it for him, but you know the drill. Lloyd's Treehouse was Lloyd's Treehouse. And here is a very rough concept as to what that set would have looked like. Now, as you can see, this doesn't really look like a treehouse to me. I feel like it needs a lot more greenery. I'm not sure how far along in the production stage this was, but you can kind of see what's going on here. 3 stories tall, possibly filled with Serpentine minifigures in the final rendition, if it were to have ever reached that final stage. We only have Nia up there. I believe that's Nia up on the top of the treehouse. Could be somebody else entirely. But yeah, my main complaint about this set is the lack of trees on this treehouse. But I think this is a good rough start. Obviously a lot smaller than what it was in the show. Like a lot of Ninjago sets out there, they're pretty much just scaled down from their TV show counterparts. This treehouse here appears to be no different. Not sure what this is at the bottom floor. Could be some type of serpentine well, maybe similar to that well that Nia used in episode 1 to activate the anti-venom. That could be what that is down there. I imagine this set would have included obviously Nia, but maybe a younger Lloyd, maybe some Hypnobrai figures, or maybe just random Serpentine figures in general. This probably would have been released in the winter of 2012 alongside the other Season 1 Ninjago sets, or at least that's what I'm thinking. Again, this set never made it past the concept stage, and this is a rough concept, and as a rough concept, I think it works to an extent, but it obviously is not really close to what we saw in the show. Feel like if this were to have been an actual set, they would have made this look a little bit better, but as it stands right now, Lloyd's Treehouse was going to be a set, but that ended up getting scrapped. Next up, this is probably the most infamous canceled Ninjago set in my opinion. This is the Serpentine Express, otherwise known as the Snake Bus from Ninjago Season 1, but unlike Lloyd's Treehouse, this made its debut towards the very end of the season, and I feel like this is an image that a lot of Ninjago fans have already seen, because like I said, this was probably one of the most infamous canceled Ninjago sets out there, and it's basically just a long snake train. Now, based on some of the boxes in the background, this would have debuted at some point in 2012, probably during the summertime wave alongside something like Lash's Bite Cycle back here. Pretty sure this is a winter set, but I would have loved to have seen this debut in the summertime wave, in the summer of 2012. But overall, what we have here is a nice rendition of the Snake Express. A little bit different from what it appears in the show, though. This is more of like a train, it seems. We have the engine right here, the cars or whatever. In the show, it's more like a bus, or as the ninja infamously put it, a truck. It was not a truck, but overall the snake train here doesn't look too bad. Now, the reason as to why this set was canceled has been cited as a lack of space in the actual wave itself. LEGO only gave Ninjago a certain amount of spots for sets to choose from, and the snake train was one of those sets that ended up being pulled in favor of producing other sets like Nia's Samurai X-Mech, according to various people that work at LEGO, and I think they made the right sacrifice here. We saw a lot of snake vehicles in that 2012 wave, the Fangpire truck, the Rattlecopter. This one would have just been another snake vehicle. You can kind of see it's constructed in a similar manner. But a snake train would have been cool. It would kind of be like the Serpentine equivalent of the Ultrasonic Raider. Again, not really how it appeared in the show per se, but this set I would not mind seeing one day. And this is what the model would have looked like. This was displayed at certain conventions, but was ultimately never produced as an actual set. But I think this set does look pretty cool. Would not have minded this set. Though, like I said, I think they made the right choice in making other sets like Nia's Samurai Samurai X-Mech. The third and final set that we're going to be taking a look at for today's video is known as the Monastery of Ice, and this is a set that I already did its own separate video on in terms of a story standpoint, but in terms of a set, as you can see, this was a nearly complete Ninjago set that would have been for the Sons of Garmadon series, possibly, like I mentioned in that previous video, but as you can see here, we do have a little bit of a write-up as to what this set would have been actually all about. Would have involved the ninja visiting the home of a scientist who worked on combining elemental powers in his lab. Sounds pretty cool, like I mentioned in that previous video. Set was not produced because it never was integrated into the storyline of the TV series, which makes sense, and it does basically explain my theory that this was based on Sons of Garmadon and not the Ninjago movie. Because on first glance, the minifigures look like they could be either for the Ninjago movie or for Sons of Garmadon, but I believe they're probably for Sons of Garmadon just based on the outfits alone, especially Lloyd right here and Zane being in their full Sons of Garmadon outfits. But the minifigures are pretty sweet. As you can see, the ninja are in their Sons of Garmadon outfits for the most part. Some of the faces need some switching up, but again, this was just a concept set. But I like how they're basically wearing the Sons of Garmadon outfits, but with winter clothing over top of them. Those would have been awesome prints to get. The temple itself is also rather gorgeous, as you can see from this concept right here, and this does remind me of the Castle of the Forsaken Emperor set from Ninjago Season 11, you know, for the summer 2019 wave. I almost wonder if this set was inspiration for that one, but as you can see, we have a nice frozen temple right here, a lot of really cool ice and snow effects going on here. Love the stairway going up to the temple. I would have loved to get my hands on this set. This set looks fantastic. I wonder if anybody's ever made a mock of this. I wonder if I could make a mock of this. Interesting. Add that to the list of mocks to make eventually. But overall, I like how this temple looks. Very serene as well, on top of a snowy mountain. I really adore how this temple looks. We also have a look as to what the back of the temple might have looked like, and as you can see, yeah, the elemental power is being made right there, or at least being combined. That would have fit into the story in some way, but, you know, Sons of Garmadon probably did not have space for that. That's okay. We have another little laboratory section down here, a little bit of an underground lab, perhaps. I think that looks pretty cool right up there. But overall, I find myself pretty disappointed that this set never saw the light of day. Out of all of the canceled sets that we've looked at in today's video, I think this one is the one that I like the most. I just think this set looks fantastic. Love how the proportions look on the temple. Love the snowy and icy atmosphere of the temple itself. Really wish we would have seen this one, and especially those minifigures as well. Those ninja would have been awesome for the collection. Same deal with these skeletons. Unfortunately though, like all the other sets that we took a look at on this list, this set never made it to the final rendition stage, never made it to the final production stage either. Just kind of a prototype right here, but it's a prototype that I really enjoy, and it's one that I wish could be made one day. So with that being said, guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. Like I said, we just took a look at some canceled Ninjago sets that were super close to being produced, but ultimately never made it to those final stages of production. There are many other Ninjago sets that exist as just simple ideas or concepts, and there might even be some canceled Ninjago sets for this new wave of Ninjago core that we can take a look at later on. And if you guys are interested, we could always do a sequel to this video, taking a look at more canceled sets, but as of right now, I think that's all we have time for today's video. So be sure to leave a comment down below discussing which of these sets you would have loved to have seen as a final LEGO set available for purchase. In my opinion, the Monastery of Ice is the best one, the best canceled set. Would have loved to have seen that actually make its way to the final stages of production. But of course, leave all your thoughts down below in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and guys, that'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this one, feel free to like and subscribe to all that fun stuff, and I'll talk to you guys again really soon. Peace.